Okay, so I promised to show you guys what I was doing with my apples here. They're finally cooked down. Now I just have to mash them. Kind of get the pot over here. It's a little difficult to do this with just a computer. Or with a computer. There's my apples. So I'm going to take my potato masher. Mash them up. I might end up using both of my mashers. Because this particular masher leaves bigger chunks, and I kind of like to make it a little bit, the chunks a little bit smaller. I don't mind the chunky applesauce, because it's all just really healthy and good, so. Now with this, all you gotta do is, it only takes about 10 minutes to process it in your water bath canner. Get it in your jar. I have like 3 jars left out of the package that I bought. I'm gonna have to start buying some more postage. I'm gonna spend so much money on jars. We're very seriously considering a friend of ours that might come down to see us, hopefully by next year or something. Yeah. Chunks are going to be a lot smaller with this one. Anyway, I might see if they'd be willing to stop at the house in Michigan and pick up a lot of the canned, like some of the canned goods that we have down there, or up there, sorry, that I know Aaron's not gonna eat. Like our beets, canned beets. The applesauce I'll leave there because he'll eat the applesauce. The dilled carrots, I'll probably have him keep like about half of the canned carrots that I did, just the regular canned carrots. I'll have him keep half of the beans that I did. I have some canned Chinese long red noodle beans, which I love those beans. And the dragon tongue beans, and those are one of my favorites. See, there's the applesauce. So now all I have to do is put it in my jars and get it in the canner and get it processing. So that might give us about 2 jars. It's gonna give us at least two more pints of applesauce, and there's probably not gonna be enough left for a 3rd pint, but we'll just eat that. We love the applesauce. Anyway, but yeah, we have a lot of canned goods up in Michigan, and if they're willing to, I'll see if they'll stop at the house and pick up, have Aaron help load in their vehicle, even if they have to be put in 18-gallon totes. Our canned beets, half of the canned beans, most of the canned pumpkin, the canned spiced squash, the dilled carrot, all of the dilled carrots, the dill pickles. I have some parsnips, half of the regular canned carrots. I'm thinking here. The bread and butter pickles, because I know Aaron's not going to eat those. He doesn't like pickles. He's never liked pickles. Sorry, I had a little niche on my nail. I'll let him keep probably half of the canned tomatoes, so he can make sauces and stuff himself out of them. And I am going to send him tomato seeds, even though he really doesn't eat them. But so he can grow. Sorry, my nose itches. So he can grow some tomatoes when it gets to that point and make his own sauces and stuff, because he does like using tomato sauces. And there's plenty of water bath canners there, so he can definitely can that stuff. It'd be the easiest thing for him to do. And I also have like some pickled cabbage, and I'll probably, if they're willing to stop and pick that stuff up, I'll have them include the pickled cabbage for our chickens, because I found out in Michigan when we had chickens, they love those. They love the pickled cabbage. They went after it. Like, really went after it. Plus, we have a lot of watermelon rind pickles. I even had some pickled jalapeno peppers. I had some pickled banana peppers. I'm trying to think. We had so much stuff up there. I still had some jellies. I think I still had some strawberry jam. I had some lilac jelly, which I do have seeds to plant a lilac bush, and I am doing that because the lilac jelly is really good. Anyway, ouch. Yeah, lost my train of thought. We didn't have any canned corn or anything like that because I didn't get any. I didn't really have a space for it up there in the gardens because we were trying to grow so much and I just didn't have the big garden space. I was having issues with a couple of the gardens that I had. I do have canned pumpkin, which I mentioned that. But yeah, anyway. I also have like I think I have some like other little pickled vegetables that I did. I have some dill beans. And I have some pickled onions, and the way that I did them, they're medicinal. And I'll probably have them include those. Anyway. So yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit on the applesauce video and share what was going on that. And I'll let you guys know in the next video, which will probably be tonight, later tonight, what we got out of it. And I think that's it. So, enjoy the video, and I hope you got something out of it. If you want to do apples just the way I did, these were frozen apples that were given to us. So I just threw them in a pan, put a little bit of purified water in it because I will not use our tap water anymore. Too many chemicals, too much chlorine. When you can smell the chlorine in the water, when you go to take a bath and you get in that water and you can smell the chlorine, something's wrong. So I will not use our tap water for cooking. I just won't do it anymore. So we're trying to stay stocked up on the purified water because of that. Anyway, so it just takes the apples. If you use fresh apples, you have to cut and peel them. Now the peelings, I take a gallon jar. I just use gallon pickle jars. The ones that your gallon pickles come in that are like, well, like that, like the big, huge gallon pickle jars. Down here, they're like 7 something for a jar of those pickles, and we like the pickles, so. But I take one of those jars and I cut the apples, I cut the cores out, I put the cores and the peelings in the jar, and it usually takes 2 bags of apples, because right now we have to buy our apples. Just like the smaller bags that are like this, about that wide. It takes 2 bags of apples, and I cut the apples, cut the cores out, peel them, put the cores and the peelings in the jar, fill the jar with water. Again, do not use your tap water unless you know for sure that your tap water is okay. Meaning, you have a rainwater catchment system, or you have a good well where you know your water is good. If you have city water, do not use your tap water. Use good filtered water, purified water, or distilled water. Anyway, you fill the jar with water, and I always add about maybe an inch or so of the apple cider vinegar. I use the Bragg's apple cider vinegar unfiltered. As long as it's unfiltered with the mother, you're good. You don't want it clear, you want it cloudy. I put about an inch or half an inch or so of it in there to give it a starter. And then you cover it. You want to make sure you cover it with like cheesecloth or something like that with a rubber band around it to where it's breathable. And then every single day, for 2 weeks, every single day, you want to go in there and skim stuff off the, check and see if you have to skim anything off the top. If it gets a little foamy or whatever, skim it off the top, and just put it in your compost. And it's okay. And then after 2 weeks, when the 2 weeks is up, you strain out the apples and the peelings, the cores and the peelings. And the liquid you just put back in your jar and you set it down. It has to be kept in a cool, dry place. And you leave for another couple of weeks, and you just check it like every 3 or 4 days. And after another 14 days, 12 to 14 days, you have your own homemade apple cider vinegar. I actually learned to do that online. Well, actually, I think it was through Doug and Stacy that I learned how to do that. Like 4 or 5 years ago, I started making my own. Now I did start buying it down here, but that was so I have a little bit of a store of it, and I will continue to buy it until I can't, because I do like the Bragg's apple cider vinegar. I use that in the drinks that I make. But the homemade apple cider vinegar, you can use it in cooking, you can use it in your drinks, whatever. So then the apples, that's something else you can get out of it besides applesauce. The apples, once you cut them and peel them, you just throw them in a pot, and you just add a little bit of purified water to it, or filtered water, or something like that, and put it on the stove. I always add some cinnamon. Today I added cinnamon and a little bit of allspice, and I also sprinkled some pumpkin pie spice on it. So you can choose different little things to add to it, just to, whatever you want to try to taste or whatever. And then just turn your burner on. You don't need it up very high. Just turn your burner on and kind of on a medium low or low, just simmer, and put a cover on it and just let it go. Let it cook down. You want to check on it every so often, kind of stir it, see how soft the apples are getting. And when they get really soft, and when they get to where they can be mashed, then you just take your potato mashers and mash them up. And then put them in your jars. Make sure your jars are clean, sterilized. Put them in the canner, put your applesauce in it. Make sure your lids are clean, sterilized. Add your lid, your ring, put them in your canner, and process them for like 10 minutes. Put them in the canner, Getting ahead of myself. Put them in your canner, add the water to your canner. When the water starts to boil, let it boil for 10 minutes, and then take it off and take your jars out. So, that's it. That's all there is to it. It doesn't take very long. It's probably one of the easiest things to do as far as canning goes. And putting up applesauce. Again, I know it's canning. It's one of the things I'll probably, I'll probably still can applesauce. Just because. It's one of the things I'm kind of used to doing. And, everybody likes it. But anyway, so better get off from this video and got some other stuff to do. And I'll get this video uploaded. And I will get with you guys on the next one. See you later. Bye, guys.